Hi, it's me, Cappy. My mommy is the best. SuperMom will be next. She helps mommy get those smiles back. Go get those back. And this might go back. You wait for the straw. Brush. Get ready for Get Super Scrubby. Not Super Scrub.
Welcome to my Global Healing for the Soul podcast, sponsored by myself, Robin Stoltman. As I am America's #1 fertility and parenting mindset expert, I'm a transformational resilience speaker, a coach and trainer for businesses and individuals. I'm also an author and a supermom of 11 biological children, having soon to be 8 C-sections in a row after overcoming infertility using my fertility mindset revolution program I created, with this being season number 6, episode number 23. And today I am talking about, can everyone be hypnotized? So what is hypnosis? Hypnosis, literally the definition is between awake and sleep. Have you ever experienced that dreamlike state, like when you first wake up, where your mind is kind of fuzzy, you're kind of there, you're kind of not? Or how about before you go to bed, where you're so tired that you're just like, okay, I'm kind of here, I'm kind of not. Or maybe one of these people that are scrolling when you first wake up, which is not a good thing to be doing. Even at the last, you want to avoid scrolling anything negative potential. You do not want to be using the hour when you first wake up and the hour before you go to sleep, because you are in the normal, natural state of hypnosis. It's where your body takes in the most amount of suggestions, good or bad, depends on 100% what you are waking up to and falling asleep to. Also, hypnosis. Have you ever been at work? Or maybe you've been with your kids? Or maybe sometimes when you're being intimate, your mind just drifts to all the things you gotta do for the day. That's hypnosis. The mind does not want to burn sugar, insulin. The mind does not want to have to take and constantly focus on what's in front of it, so then it drifts, because it's a way to conserve energy. So when we're talking about the hypnosis, like what I do for people, I'm really guiding you into what suggestions you want. So for example, if we're talking about, I'd rather just feel like my life is calm, collected, like I don't have so much to worry about. We can give you those suggestions, and we can ask more questions like, what would that look like if you didn't have to worry about whatever was stressing you out? What if you didn't have to worry about your kids all the time? What would that look like? What would that feel like? I wonder what it would feel like if you were able to get your kids to go to bed within the first hour of telling them to go to bed versus 3 hours later and damn near lose your mind. I think all of us parents can relate. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I came up with hypnotizing my own children to go to bed. I'm using that normal, natural state anyway that they're already in before they're overstimulated to get them to go to bed, to help them go to bed. And in fact, studies have proven time and time again that when the parent is calm, the child is calm. The child only, like other adults, reflect back to us what we need to work on. So what I'm talking about, like, what is hypnosis? Can everybody be hypnotized? Yes. Should you hypnotize everybody? Absolutely not. I've come to the conclusion after doing this long enough that while everybody wants to be healthy and better and improve their lives, even have more money, have the relationships they dream of, what I have truly learned is that not everybody is fit to have that desired reality, because not everybody truly wants it. A great example is when I've got clients and they don't want to do the work. It is not that hard to listen to a 15-minute recording between 7 days of the next session. That's an example of they really don't want to do the work. They want it done for them. And granted, healing is something that takes time. It takes a lot of energy, which is why a lot of people don't want to really do it. They'd rather just go to a talk therapist and complain and whine about their problems versus actually working on the root cause of the problem. Like, why do they have the problems that they've got in their life? What kind of upbringing have they had? None of that really truly matters in the here and now, because that's stuff that's already happened. And with that stuff already happening, you're the one that's bringing it up, which creates this reality that you believe in your head to get bigger. And when you're creating it to get bigger, can you have like the positive, happy life that you really want? No, it's not possible. So in all of this, it's not so much a question, can everybody be hypnotized, as much as it is, should you be hypnotized? Because if you really don't want to hit your goals, then I'd say absolutely not. If you're one of these people that want the help but don't actually want to put in the effort because this is a team effort, then I would say absolutely not. If you're looking for somebody to make you do something, good luck, because I can't even get my mom and my husband and my kids to do what I want them to do 100% of the time. I can't even get them to do it like 50% of the time. So if you think that I can help make you do something, forget it, because if you know how to get them to do if you can mind control them, go for it. But outside of that, good luck. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. Okay, then that works on the I'm awake to I'm in between sleep or hypnosis. Like I said, that's all it is literally between awake and sleep. And you've already heard of the terms: meditation, guided imagery, guided meditation, trance, peak performance, mental rehearsal, imagination, visualization, and the list goes on with about 20 plus names for the exact same thing. So fun fact, why we call it, why the churches specifically don't like to call it hypnosis, is because people have been trained to believe that it's in divination, that it's the devil, all this stuff. Well, reality is you go from the Bible, from the chapter of Genesis to all the way to Revelations, literally in there many times it is said about visions that were given. These visions, these people were put into the visions, they were put into these things. Yes, it was God guiding them, God leading them. No different than me when I'm leading you with your own suggestions that you want to have happen in your own life. That's why in school you can't even say, I'm going to hypnotize your kid. You can say meditation, I'm going to meditate, we're going to do guided meditation. You can do that because people are okay with that. But that's really why, for that part, it has to do with the churches. It's kind of like the government. They got to be able to control people somehow. And that's the best way that they control them, is not tell anybody how to empower themselves. Because if you knew how truly powerful you are, if you truly knew how to harness the power of your mind, if you truly knew the different things that you could do, one or two things would happen. You'd either hit resistance, which everybody does when they're working on themselves, which is, I don't want to keep going. Oh my gosh, changes are actually happening. Or two, what would happen is you're going to run, that's the resistance, you're running away from it because it's good, it's exciting, it's changes, the brain is catching it. Or you're going to take and like the fact that now you have more control over your life. You actually realize you do have 100% control over your emotions and your thoughts, because you do. Society doesn't want you to know that, because if you knew that, again, how would they be able to control you, especially with work? Work comes with a lot of limitations if you didn't know. You didn't realize that. Or maybe you're like, well, maybe I'll reveal all my secrets when I'm in hypnosis. No. How that works is you're still conscious, you're still awake, you're just in that lighter state. Like I said, it's literally every time you close your eyes, you're in hypnosis. In case you did not know that, every time you close your eyes, like even right now, with my eyes closed, I'm in hypnosis. It's a very light stage. It's called the hypnoidal depth, is what it is. It's that very first stage, the very light depth of hypnosis. That's what actually works best when you're doing self-hypnosis. So then, what about when you've used hypnosis before, like online, or you've bought in these cheap programs that they work for a little bit, but then they just quit? That's because you weren't the person that was doing the hypnotizing, doing the meditation, doing the guided imagery, didn't really know what they were doing. Just putting it out there, straight out facts, because not everybody is trained from America's #1 accredited college of hypnotherapy. Not everybody goes to college for what I do, which is sad because it's not even regulated, but yet so many people think they can help somebody. Kind of like the talk therapists. They think they can help everybody, and no, they can't. Because if they could, problems in society would drop. And I'm not sorry, but the problems would drop in society that we have been experiencing. Okay? So one of the things that I want to do right now to just kind of help you out is just get relaxed. Do not listen to this while driving or operating heavy machinery. It's not my fault for your failure to listen. But I just want you to get comfortable. Take a few deep breaths in. Let them out slow. And perhaps if you're watching on video, you're letting the background just help you. Get your mind at ease. As you allow yourself to close your eyes. As you allow yourself to close your eyes. Just allowing yourself a few minutes to just settle where you are. And as you allow yourself to settle where you are, just taking in that deep breath from the abdomen, let it out slow. So as you do this, 3 more big deep breaths, releasing, letting go of all the tension, all the cares and all the worries of the day. So much, in fact, that if you realize just how good it feels to listen to the sound of my voice, and that any outside sounds that you may hear only deepen that relaxation. Just allow yourself to feel this, to be in this. And as you do, just go ahead and release any and all the tension throughout the neck, the shoulders, almost as if you can imagine or visualize, picture or pretend there's just butter just melting away in the pan. And as you watch that butter, it's like all the muscles, all the fibers in the back of the neck and the shoulders deeply relax, loose and limp like spaghetti. Just allow yourself to take in another deep breath from the abdomen. And so when you do this, once you return back to the room, that, my friends, is what people call your meditation. It's literally hypnosis. Because when you realize how powerful you are, and you realize that you create your reality, you're creating everything. We constantly create. The very first thing in Genesis, what did God tell us about himself? The very first thing he created. God is creative. We are constantly creating things. I'm not saying we are God, because we are certainly not God at all whatsoever. What I am saying is that God told us that we are creative. He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The earth was void, and he spoke into existence what it is that he wanted. Even in Isaiah 50:11, it says that your word that is spoken will not return without void. There's a reason why the power of life and death is in the tongue. It's the smallest organ in the body, but yet gets us in the most amount of trouble. Would you not say that that is true? So even in this little bit, you were able to see that you've been hypnotized off and on, even those scrollers on your phone? That's why you lose track of time. Because you've been in hypnosis. So when you are ready and you want to be able to improve your life, feel free to contact me. But I want you to make sure that you subscribe and share Healing for the Soul podcast with everyone you know. And I encourage you to follow myself, Robin Stoltman, on social media. So thank you for your time and energy while listening to today's episode of Healing for the Soul podcast.
That's all for now, folks. Make sure you hit the for fun. Tap that follow button. Subscribe. Quack, quack. Bye-bye. Well, next time. Now you got it. Now.